Hello everybody, welcome back to Valecast, brought to you by Motive. My name is Cyril, today I'm joined by Callum. Say hello, Callum.
Good evening, Simon. How are we doing?
Very well, mate. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Another week towards pre-season and start of the new campaign, hopefully. So,
I know, another week where we try and make Valecast somewhat decent before the football starts.
That's the thing. There's only so much we can say. Everybody's just wanting to see the football returning, I think. So hopefully this will just kind of continue that wee build-up and get everybody excited for the new campaign.
People have been enjoying it. Almost 100 views in every episode of Valecast, just approaching 40 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. Again, we will be doing a live show at 150 subscribers. So if you've not liked and subscribed the video already, I would suggest you do that now, because we will be, as soon as we cross over that mark, we'll go live and you can interact with us and we'll answer questions about the club and any other sort of questions you have. But we'll go straight into the news. Cal, Dundee are up both. The larger clubs in Dundee are in the top flight of Scottish football once again. To the dismay of Kilmarnock. It's a weird one to think, because they were a good side under Steve Clarke and competing right up there at the top, and it feels like that wasn't too long ago, and they're down in the Championship now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. I mean, even when Dundee got through and we knew they'd be playing against Kilmarnock, you kind of thought that it might be a tight game, but that Kilmarnock would have that kind of Premiership quality and come through, but. No, absolutely not. It was the other way around. Watching the game, I caught glimpses of the first match, but I sat through and watched the second leg the other night, and you couldn't tell who the Premiership team was and who was in the Championship. So fair play to Dundee. I think they've really trounced them really over the two legs and deserved winners, I would say. So yeah, it'd be exciting to see them back up in the Premiership. Obviously the Dundee derby, as you mentioned, and a few other clubs I'm sure they'll be keen to take points off of. But you look at the Championship now, and that looks like it's going to be a hell of a season. You've got Kilmarnock obviously dropping down after, it was about 28 years, I think they were in the Premiership. So it'll be a bit of a change for them.
In the top flight.
Yeah, big change for them. But, obviously Ayr are sitting there waiting for them. So I'm sure that'll be a good game to watch. Hopefully we'll see that one on the telly next season. But you feel for them. Obviously it's never nice, for a club to go down, and obviously all the backroom staff that have been there for years. And I'd seen Kyle Lafferty had come out and spoken to a few of the fans after the match, and obviously they were, very angry about the result and performance, I suppose, more than anything else. And he'd mentioned about how much it was upsetting the kit man and all that kind of stuff. So it goes beyond just the players and managers, and same at our level as well. When there's good times and bad times, we all feel it. Whether you're standing on the turnstiles, doing the kits, working the bar, whatever it is, it's something that, it's never nice to go through when it's your club. So yeah, hopefully, they'll bounce back up, I'm sure, because they are a good team on their day.
I think if you look at their side, I think you could probably predict that they won't spend too much time in the Championship. Being a Sunderland fan, I've seen a few relegations myself. I know how miserable a long old season like that can be. But I didn't watch the games live. I watched the highlights, and it was, I think, an extra sore one, considering that a lot of the goals, or the four that Killie conceded, were down to a lot of individual errors, and they hurt just a wee bit more.
Well, I think the first goal in the second leg came from a Killie throw-in near enough level with the penalty spot in the Dundee box, So, and obviously broke up the park and got a good goal there. So, yeah, I think... looking back, I don't think those Kilmarnock players can probably be covering themselves in too much glory. You would think that being the Premiership team, trying to hold on to their spot, that they would be coming in with that extra motivation, but it just seemed to be that the Dundee players were quicker out the blocks on both games. It was two early goals in both legs. So, as I say, fair play to them. They've done what they were wanting to do, and I'm sure players like Charlie Adam will maybe fancy a crack at the Premiership before he hangs up the boots. I'm not sure what his plans are, but going back to Killie, already just a few days on, I think that's 14 out of the squad already that have left. So a big rebuild. Whether Tommy Wright stays, well, it looks as though he's going to stay, but that Killie team will look very different next season. And whether they attract the same level of player that they would have if they'd stayed up, who knows? I mean, we all thought, when likes of Dundee and Inverness went down, and that they would probably come back up pretty quickly. And I think Inverness have been down there for a few seasons now. So yeah, it'll be a competitive league and be one that'll be fun to watch, I'm sure.
It's getting slightly more competitive, isn't it? The Championship. I mean, as far as I'm aware that it doesn't look as if the Killie manager is going to be exiting at all. I think he's going to try. He's going to be backed. I think looking at it, I think the reason the Killie fans were a wee bit more upset is because it was such a swift fall from grace. I mean, they went from just a couple of years ago playing in European qualifiers to relegation, and it's a quick fall. The squad did kind of break apart after Steve Clarke departed for the Scotland job. But, football's a roller coaster, there's ups and downs.
We've been there before, we've all seen it, whether it's in our league or, right at the top of the Scottish game, then yeah, whenever the results don't go your way and you have the bad season and go down, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? So, I mean, that's something I know we'll touch on possibly later around potential playoffs within the Highland League as well, and it'll be interesting to see if that comes around. But as a Vale fan first and foremost, I suppose, but also as an Aberdeen fan, I've never suffered from relegation, I suppose. So I don't know how those Killie fans will be feeling. I say with Aberdeen, nice. Only I think just on a technicality, thanks to the Falkirk Stadium not being up to scratch. But yeah, it must be a sore one to take, that's for sure.
Definitely. Let's go to slightly positive news. Kiltie Hearts manager Barry Ferguson took them up, convincingly beating Brechin City. I think we all kind of seen it coming. We talked a wee bit about this a few. Valecast, it might have just been like Valecast free. I think me and you talked about Kiltie and how ambitious they were being, but they definitely displayed it on the pitch, and now they are in the Professional Football League. And I'm sure that's what they brought in a manager like Barry Ferguson to do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And over the two legs, again, similar story to Dundee. Just I don't think you could argue that they were lucky. I think, again, looking at the highlights of that, I know the second leg was a bit tighter, as you would probably imagine at that stage of the season. But, no disrespect to Brechin, but I think Kiltie were clear winners over the two. So, yeah, all the best to them. I know, Barry Ferguson's now moved on from the job as well. So he obviously felt that was as far as he could take them. But, I'm sure whoever comes in, I think, like say Kevin Thompson's been linked with it, ex Rangers midfielder. So swap him one for another, really, over at Kiltie. But I'm sure, whoever comes into that job will, first and foremost, want to keep them up. I think any club that's gone up through those playoffs and Cove were in that position a few years back, first and foremost, try and stay up. They might do a Cove and go straight back up again. You never know. So I think, a few more additions to their team. I think they've got a couple of players who are maybe at the other end of the career, so whether they stay around or they replace them with youth players, we'll see. But yeah, all the best to them as well for League 2 next season.
Yeah, and Brechin City is potentially going to be joining the Highland League. There's a chance they may go to the Lowland League. Nothing confirmed yet, so we're not going to speculate on it too much. The likelihood is, I believe, from what I'm reading on the news and stuff like that, is it could be more likely to be Highland League. So you might have a wee away day.
maybe, yeah. It's always a new exciting challenge, I suppose, when a new team comes into the league. And I think, Brechin will be a good addition to the Highland League, and we'll certainly welcome them both to Princess Royal Park and hopefully getting away day down to Glebe Park as well. So they are a famous club, so it'll be nice to get a couple of games against them next season, depending on what happens. I know discussions are kind of ongoing around that, and whether the kind of traditional or geographical split will remain, as it were, just about round about the Tay Bridge, I think it is. And, we'll see what happens with discussions, but time will tell. But again, that'll add, another challenge to the leagues, league teams, I should say. And, that's something that I know we as a club will challenge or relish that challenge as well.
Absolutely. Speaking of fixtures, the fixture list could be announced as early as next week, still aiming on for the season to start on the 24th of July. We are really hoping we'll be able to bring you some friendly or information on friendlies in the next Valecast. But yeah, other than that, no solid news to bring you, unfortunately. But next Valecast, some good news to look forward to. We're going to have assistant manager Michael Morrison come on for an interview. I've never met him in person. We've only communicated on emails, so I'm actually looking forward to getting sort of a more face-to-face.
Definitely. I mean, he's been at the Vale now for a few months, but obviously just never really had a chance to do much before all the second lockdowns or third lockdowns, whatever it was. So with pre-season just around the corner, I think it'll be, by the time the episode with Michael comes out, that should be just a few days to go, I think, until the start of proper pre-season. So it'll be interesting to hear what his thoughts are, what his plans and aims are for the season as well. And be good for him to kind of be introduced, I suppose, to the Vale support as well.
Absolutely, assistant manager, big appointment. New to the Vale, as I am. So big.
I mean, he's a name that is well known around the leagues, and there are. I'm sure there'll be a couple of particular matches, that we'll maybe have a chat with him about. Thinking back to that kind of last day drama when Bucky just pipped us past the post to the league. Which obviously he was a key part of that squad. So, it'll be interesting to see what his thoughts are on that and how he can, adapt to a new colour of shirt rather than the old green and white. So, but yeah, absolutely, really looking forward to speaking with him. I'm similar to yourself, Simo. I think we've only just communicated, over text and email. So, it'd be good to get a good chat with him and see what he's saying for next season.
Absolutely, so do look forward to that. Other than that, I think that's going to do us for our news. We have a new member of the Deveronvale family, player Grant Manobo and his partner Danielle. Welcome in the new wee one, baby Ellis, who was born, I believe, when it was born?
15th of May, I believe it was, yeah. So, huge congratulations to Grant and Danielle. It's wonderful news, and it's always great to add a new member to the squad as well. So I think we class that as our first signing of the season. So congratulations, massive congratulations from everybody at the club. Danielle's wonderful news.
Rightio, I think that is going to do. It's a shorter episode this week, guys. But, we've got a good episode coming next week. Michael Morrison coming on for his interview, brand new assistant manager at Deveronvale. If you want to like and subscribe, follow us on all the socials, on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Drop a comment, let us know what you thought of the episode. We are back every Thursday at 7 p.m. And we will see you on the next one. Cheerio, bye.